this love, that is why I'm so strong. Feel the joy from being the flow. Feel the joy from being the light. I am one.
You are one of a kind, wonderful. You are one of a kind, magnificent. Thank you for being here, becoming happier and healthier with us. Let me remind you something. Your body is a channel for unlimited, super powerful energy. You are a super powerful being. And you know what? This is the best moment of your life. And you know why? Because life is happening right here, right now. There isn't any other moment than now. So let's feel as if we had accomplished all that we dreamed of. You have already made it. We are focused and present, strengthening your body and your mind with us. So let's be aware of our power. Let's get even stronger and healthier now. Let's do this together. And so it is. Hi guys, welcome to the Hour to Empower. I'm here to help you live your best version and your best life every day. How are we doing? How's this week starting? Are we feeling good? What's going on? What's going on in our energy today? Have we been able to check in with ourselves at all? Or were we just in airplane mode, not knowing what we were doing? Are we awake? Are we sleepy? Are we tired? Are we happy? Are we excited? What's the emotion right now? Give it a name. What is your emotion right now? What would you say is that emotion you've been carrying with you all day? What is it? What is it? I want to say I've been very inspired. I think the word is inspired. So I've been very much in my thoughts and going inside. But in a good way, I guess in a very positive way. It's been taking me to very interesting places. So I wonder, what do you feel right now? What has been the emotion that you've been carrying with you today? Is it a good one or a bad one? And if it's a bad one, how can we get rid of it? Let me put some background music so that we can enjoy this moment together and have some quality time. Some relaxing, rainy music. Music for the rain, right? Music that feels like we can light a candle and sit down and relax and enjoy this time together. So why don't we start with some breathing exercises to just come in touch with our inner world and just relax, breathe in, breathe out, and then we'll start talking about beautiful subjects that I have prepared for you today. So from this, I can see everybody's relaxed. I love that. So from this relaxed position, just enjoy this breathing moment together. And let's start. Let's do this. It's going to be really short. It's going to be like 30 seconds. So enjoy it while we do it. Let me put down this volume a little bit. Here we are. That's better. So just close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale. And just very slowly, we're going to do counts of 6 this time. Inhale and exhale. When you inhale, think of that which you want to fill your heart with. What is that which you want to fill your heart with? Algo que quieres llenar tu corazón de esto. Cuando inspires, concéntrate en llenar tu corazón de aquello que necesitas en este momento. And when we exhale, we let it all out. We just let go of whatever was heavy on us, okay? So think of that which you want in your heart. I want to say gratitude for me. I feel that gratitude is always this great energy in my heart. It connects me with the present moment. It connects me with being happy. It connects me with looking at everything I have around me and feeling in awe, right? Amazed by the life around me. So gratitude is probably the thing that I'm going to work on. So I'm going to inhale gratitude, and just when I exhale, let it go, okay? If you want to join me with gratitude, go ahead. If you want to have something else, just whatever your soul needs right now, think of that, okay? So let's do this. We're going to do inhale in 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale that which you're thinking of that your soul needs right now. 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one last time, think of that which your soul needs so much right now and just put it in your heart. I'm going to think of gratitude. So inhale in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold that. Install it in your heart. Install it right now. Feel it in your heart. And let go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sit for a second in your quiet breath, just for a second, and let it sink in. Read what it's telling you. Can you read that? There's a magic when you're able to read your body and there's a connection with your emotions. So just think that which you were wanting to breathe in, where it is in your life, where you can manifest it, and how you're going to manifest it. Take a deep breath in and exhale and open your eyes. And here we are, you guys. It's always nice, especially in those rainy days when we're so relaxed, and it's nice to think for a second, just pause, just connect with something beautiful, something special, something that makes you realize that life is worth it every minute. I have had the opportunity this week, which has been extremely fascinating because I am not that familiar with seeing people who miss a leg. And I was this week sitting having lunch, and there was a woman sitting in front of me with her friends, and she was enjoying a beer and having a wonderful time. And this woman missed both her legs. And, you know, those are things that when you see them happening in front of you, at least for me, they make me open my eyes to realizing how valuable everything is that we have, and that we just, we take it for granted so often. We make everything so simple sometimes, and some things are very, very valuable. And sometimes we just need to reorder those values, reorder those things that we're looking at, right? So just think of the one thing that seems so simple in your life that you're actually very grateful for. Something that you don't consider. For example, I don't know, let's say something very basic would be the fact that I can breathe, that I can speak, the fact that I can share this moment with you because I can speak. It's so simple, right? To talk about speech. It seems so obvious that everybody can talk, but sometimes those things are the essence of our connection. They're the essence of our reality. Somebody who is, she's 102 years old, this woman. And what she was losing her hearing capacity, la capacidad de audición, ¿no? Había perdido mucha capacidad de audición. Tiene 102 años. Well, you would think, oh, it's okay. 102, you don't hear that well. But the truth is that she said, you can miss your sight, but when you miss hearing, you miss everything. And it made me wonder, is hearing so important? Is that the most important sense of all? Is it more important than seeing? And I thought, it's true that when you see beauty. You're indulged by what you have around you. But when you hear, what do you get from that? And here's my subject for today that I thought was fascinating for me when I learned it, and I really feel that it changed my view on life when I learned to do this genuinely, which is the art of listening. The art of listening. And here's my question for you. When you listen, how do you listen? In what way do you listen? There's this quote, right, that says people tend to listen to speak. So Roy Benet says, listen with curiosity, speak with honesty, act with integrity. The greatest problem with communication is that we don't listen to understand. We listen to reply. Escuchamos para responder. We listen to reply. When we listen with curiosity, we don't listen with the intent to reply. Cuando escuchamos con curiosidad, nuestra intención ya no es responder. We listen for that which is behind words. Now, I get even goosebumps by saying this because this is where I understand this woman who said hearing is the most important sense. Because hearing is bigger than just being able to perceive a sound. When you pay attention to what you can hear, you can see behind those words, right? So I wonder, how many times do you listen to the point that you can really see behind those words? Sometimes we're the solvers, right? So we are so quick in finding an answer to your situation. Haven't you ever had a friend that, you start telling them what's going on and you just want to vent, you just want to let go of your story and share it with somebody so it becomes less. And then the other person is listening and they're ready with a solution for you. And it's, of course, from a great place. It's meant from a very beautiful position of love and generosity. But that person is not genuinely listening. Now, when you really listen, you can hear what's behind the story. So I wonder, how many times have you been able to listen, hearing what's behind the story? Hear the story, of course, but if you want to be a real listener, and I say, why do I want to bring the art of listening to our conversation? Why is the art of listening powerful? Because it really empowers you. Leaders are listeners. Leaders are listeners. Write this down because it's so big. We tend to think that leaders are achievers. You achieve if you listen to what the situation needs. I always say this, right? Like, find that answer to the question, what does the situation need from me? But I need to listen. To know the answer, I need to listen. And then I'm like, but do I know how to listen? We never taught to listen. It's so funny because these things in school, they're never taught. You're never taught you're taught how to speak in public, but you're not taught how to listen. And listening is a great art. Listening, I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, if you followed the show, you might have listened to Luis when we spoke, the psychologist, and we talked about, entering into the unknown, listening to our clients and so on. And then one of the things he said is, we need to listen from our belly. Listen from our belly. And I thought that was so representative of the art of listening. Listening, like really listening, is knowing how to listen to the feelings, knowing how to listen to the body, knowing how to listen to the eyes. The eyes are so expressive of the truth of what's in front of you. And one of the tricks to learn how to listen this way is, are you able to breathe at the same pace as the person in front of you? Because breathing speaks a lot about emotions. The way you breathe, and we've talked about this a lot, the way you breathe is the way you're feeling. So if you're feeling relaxed, you probably have a slow breath. If you're feeling very anxious, you're going to breathe very heavily. If you're sad, you probably stop breathing. So if I'm listening to your story, and many times we try to make up a story because we don't want to show how we really feel, I probably need to start listening to your breathing. Can I do that? Do you know how to listen to my breathing? Can you feel my breathing and reproduce it in you? That's one of the ways. It's a beautiful way of really creating a full connection with the person in front of you. And the other person doesn't even need to know, but you're paying full attention right there. It's a great mindfulness exercise too. Sometimes we're so caught up in our thoughts that we create our own reality, right? Muchas veces nos quedamos aquí y no somos capaces de salir de nuestra historia interior. Conectar con la respiración de la persona delante de nosotros. If you're able to breathe at the same pace as the person in front of you, you're able to get out of yourself and connect with somebody else. It's the most, probably the basic biology that exists, right? Is that connection. I had a friend who is a musician, And he has a capacity of hearing that is amazing, of course. He can hear everything. He can even hear one piece in the orchestra and just say that's a violin. And he will just have a whole music band playing, and he'll know exactly how to listen only to one. So he has that gift of listening already. And he said to me, I listen to the flowers. I say, you listen to the flowers? So this was a challenge for me that in the beginning I was like, how do you listen to the flowers? I said, don't tell me. I'm going to do this by myself. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to listen. And I want to encourage you to try that. Go into nature when it stops raining, or even in the rain. How beautiful is that, even to do it in the rain? And listen. Can you listen to the trees? Can you listen to the flowers? There's a breathing of nature that you become aware of. And when you become aware of all the other parts of a story of a person, you connect. Now, what happens when we listen actively? Why do you think the art of listening is so important between human beings? Why is it so empowering for a person to be a good listener? What would you say? What do you think is the reason why listening is actually a tool for being empowered, being strong, being present? Listening has a gift to it. And I think that the more we learn how to listen, the more we create a world of people who are connected. So how many conversations have we had that we don't even remember? We were not listening. We were not listening. We were hearing, but we were not listening. What happens when we give another person the opportunity to open up to us and to feel listened to? Esa persona, ¿no? Que le damos esa oportunidad de que se siente escuchada. What are we creating in this person? What do you think is the gift that we're giving this person when we genuinely listen from an active space? What would you say? There's many things that you can think of course. You're going to feel loved when somebody listens to you, right? How do you feel when you're listened to? When you express something to someone and you know that person is getting you. He knows what you're saying. How does that make you feel? How do you relate to that person, to that environment when you feel listened? When you open up is this magical world of vulnerability. And when we open that world of vulnerability, we've talked about vulnerability in the past, and this is Brené Brown. If you guys want to do more work on this, is definitely read something on Brené Brown, where you open the space for the other person to genuinely be. Because if I can listen actively, like really hear what's behind the story, I can connect with you. And there's no need for you to wear a mask because I can hear what's going on. You see that? And there's no magic in it. This is going really into our most basic biology, opening a way of listening that is probably the most human way of listening. Really the most human way. We go into robotic ways of listening where I hear, I respond. I hear, I respond. I hear, I leave. But now I want you to be here. I want you to connect with the person really. And just take that connection with you. It's not only a present for the person who's being listened to. El regalo no se lo da solo a la persona a la que estás escuchando. It's a gift for you. Because it's also a way for you to connect with others. It's unique. If you start doing this, you'll never want to listen any other way again. Chris says, I think listening is important for understanding people, to promote empathy, for instance. Empathy is a huge word that obviously is probably the first thing that you awaken in yourself when you start listening this way. You become aware of what's going on in the other person, and you sort of reproduce it in you. And it's incredible. And sometimes one of the beautiful things of learning how to listen this way is that you have to learn to hold it, right? Because sometimes when we feel, oh, the other person is actually suffering, you want to react immediately. You have to learn how to hold it. You got to listen. So one exercise to do is always give yourselves 10 seconds between the interaction of a person and your response. 10 seconds for you to give back what the other person actually really needs, and not that which you are thinking in your own reality. You see how we process things, how we behave? Brene Brown says, if we can share our story with someone who responds with empathy, understanding, shame cannot survive. Now, here's the thing. You have to remember that people most of the time want to feel like they belong, and they want to feel loved. So if there's anything about them that they feel ashamed of, they're going to wear a mask and they're going to hide. They don't want to show this because you want to belong. Now, what if we create a world where we let people be and we listen to the real person behind that? How beautiful would it be if we could just be ourselves without fear? Now, I always say, if that's the world you want to live in, you're the one that needs to create it first. So empower yourself in becoming a good listener, and you'll be surprised how many great listeners you will find around you. Because when you become a good listener, you also appreciate the listeners because you know they're connecting with you. So think of something that you can do now, an exercise that you can take with you, where you can listen actively. So what can you do right now, today, from today on until our next show? What can you do to listen actively? What can you do? Think of something that you want to work on. Maybe the breathing part would be a good exercise. There's another thing that is interesting when you work on listening, the art of listening, where I'm talking about how the art of listening connects us to others from a very deep place, and it creates a connection that is all human in its essence, right? It's like really going down to our human essence. The one thing that is also very powerful to learn how to listen is, can you listen to yourself when you listen to others? Haha. Have you ever had that, right? Like, our radio is always on. Our heads are constantly, there's this voice that's all the time working, right? The judge, the fun one, the angry one. We always have this judge inside of us. But when we're listening, it is difficult to be connected to the other person if you don't shut down that voice inside. So the first thing to learn how to do that is, can you hear yourself when you talk to others? Because this is going to give you a hint, a huge hint on why many things are difficult for you, or why you're getting a perception on somebody that doesn't feel right, why we get angry at people, why we're happy with other people. What is it that you tell yourself while you listen to other people? And what if you stop telling yourself anything and you were genuinely connected and fully present every time you interacted with others? Feel the power of listening. Remember that the real leaders in the world are the listeners, not the talkers, the listeners. Chris says, I love this. I've checked the breathing part and it works. If I'm calm, the other person is calm too. That is spectacular how we can connect through breathing without saying anything. You breathe and I breathe, right? And sometimes the fact that I slow down my breath, even when we speak, we slow down, and then you sort of sense that calm in me and you take it with you, right? And the same happens with the reverse. Lo mismo aplica al contrario. If I start getting excited, I might get you excited, right? So these are things that when you learn to listen to those things, it's fun. It's not just interesting. It's so much fun to do because you connect with the other person. You see things in the other person. You share more. You find things in the other person that totally relate with you, like you can see in yourself, right? So let me give you like the way of connecting with an active listening process, right? Like, what is active listening? So first of all, you hear the story, right? We're going to hear the story. We always label the feeling that you observe and observe the body. Okay, so when you hear the story, you name the feeling and then you observe the body. And here we can look at the breathing, we can look at the gestures, we can look at this is going to tell you a lot, right? If the shoulders are up, down, it really tells you a lot about the feeling. So hear the story, label the feeling, look at the body, connect with that body in some way. And then reflect. Just give yourself a moment to pause. You don't have to respond immediately. That's why I said 10 seconds. Give yourself 10 seconds to respond. Clarify, which means connect with the other person and help them clarify what they're telling. Okay? Can you tell me? Can you clarify what you're saying? Question things. When they say things, don't let them just tell the story as if that's the only truth. Sometimes you feel listened when you receive the right question from the other person. You need questions in your life to find answers, remember? So if you're a real listener, you offer a person a question. And finally, just summarize what they said and give it back to them. Because if you're really, really listening, genuinely listening, you know what the whole story is telling you, and you can give it back. And there's nothing more incredible than feeling that somebody has followed your story and still wants to challenge you to think even better, even higher. Now, we are here to empower ourselves, but also to create communities of people who are empowered, who vibrate at a high level, right? We want to feel that life is worth it every day, but we also want the people around us to feel that life is worth it every day, that there's power in everything that we do. So give that back to the people by listening to them. Empower yourself by becoming a strong listener. You start to understand so many things when you become this kind of listener. You will see there's immediate connection with everybody around you. And there's also such a gratitude coming from the people that feel listened. So just try it out. Try it out. So we said, listen to the story. Label the feeling that you see in the other person. Observe the body. Reflect. Clarify. Question. And summarize and give it back. And let the person feel how you've listened to them. Feel how you're there with them. Feel like there's eye to eye. I'm fully with you right now. Can't you see the gift in that already? Doesn't it feel like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have somebody just sit with me and listen to me genuinely? Well, give it to others and you will see. You will see what the art of listening can do. There's also a connection with mindfulness in this. So if you're not feeling well, and now with all the things that are going on, you might have difficult days or less easy days, maybe you need to become more mindful about what really is. And this is a way of coming to the present moment too. Sometimes when I'm in my thoughts too much and I'm walking in a store even, I don't even have to be doing anything specific, but I might be too much in my thoughts. I just look at people and I try to connect with them on a physical level, like feel the person. What is this person going through? And it's fun to observe, like, what does their face tell me about their feelings? What is their mood? How are they doing, And sometimes I've even had the instinct to just walk up and give them a smile, because you can tell that their face is down, that there's something that is bothering them. But you know what the beautiful thing is about doing that? Is you get out of your story. You step out of that story and you're here, you're listening, you're with the present moment and the people around you. So I want to encourage you to give it a try. I want you to tell me, what is that thing that you're going to do this week to start listening actively to the people around you? What is that first thing that you want to try? Give it a try. And Tell me how it goes. Write to me. Tell me how it feels to listen to people. How it feels for you, how you think it felt for others. You will see. I don't think there's anything more beautiful in a society than people who really genuinely listen to each other. So with that said, I'm going to end my show today, and I want to encourage you to give it a try. I want to thank you for your time and for being here with me again. And we'll be back soon. So try this, listen, and empower yourself through the art of listening. I love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and let's feel the joy, feel the flow, and simply listen to what's going on around you. I love you guys. Let's see. Get some music dancing. Here we are. Ooh, that's too loud. That's good. I am one with this flow. There's no fear. I just flow with this love. You guys are amazing. You are great, Chris. Thank you. Thank you, Mita Manzana. You guys are very quiet today, but I love you. I love you because you were listening. I felt listened to, so thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember to listen. What's going on? What's going on? Be curious. Be like a child. You know, children look at everything. They observe and they're like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Do that. Be a child. Bring the child in you. Okay, you guys. I'm leaving. I love you. Take care. Bye.